So I was really excited about getting the Samsung Galaxy A05, and that's because for a while now I have been reviewing some budget phones below 100,000 naira, the likes of the Itel P55 and the Redmi 13C. So I was really curious to know what it has to offer in comparison with those phones. But after using this phone for about 3 days, honestly, my experience has been both good and not so good. So really, I would advise that you watch this video to the end before you go ahead and buy the Samsung Galaxy A05. Now, unboxing a Samsung phone is a very boring thing to do because all you get in the box is just the USB Type-C to Type-C charging cable and the SIM ejector. Now, there are two very important accessories you're going to need to use this phone. The first is the charger. The Samsung Galaxy A05 supports up to 25 watts charging capacity, which is the highest you're going to get within similarly priced devices, like I said, like the Itel P55 and the Redmi 13C. Now, the second one is a case, because once you unwrap this phone, you'll be greeted with a super glossy finishing. Honestly, it is a nightmare for content creators like us because it attracts everything attractable. Dust, fingerprints, smudges. Like for example, for about 3 days I'll be using this phone, I've practically have to clean it every single time I take it out of my pocket. So if you don't want to be like me, really you should go get a pouch or a case for this phone. Now, other than that, the build is plastic, which is something you would expect definitely. The phone feels really sturdy and strong when you hold it, because it's a Samsung phone, so definitely we're not expecting anything less. Now, the cutout around the phone is practically the same you get to see in every other phone. We have the volume rocker buttons. There is no fingerprint sensor for this phone, so this button right here is just to lock and unlock the phone. However, there's a face unlock option which I tried and it was pretty fast, even in low lighting conditions. We have a singular down-firing speakers that sounds pretty well but not so loud. We also have dual microphone, one under and another one on top. Of course, we have the SIM card tray to the left that houses dual nano SIM cards, and of course a space for an external memory card up to 1 terabyte. Now, talking about memory, my device here comes with 64 gigs of internal storage along with the 4 gigs of RAM that is expandable with another 4 gigs up to 8 gigabytes. Now, I chose to buy this unit because this is the only one you get below 100k. Every other version, as you can see on the screen right now, is way more than 100,000 naira. Now, when you go to the screen, obviously we are still stuck with what Samsung called the Infinity U display. Now, this is a turn off for most people, obviously, but the fact is, it's a budget phone. You really would not be expecting a circular cutout for the front-facing cameras. Now, when it comes to the display specifications proper, it is practically the same you get with other similarly priced devices. It's a 720 pixel by 1600 resolution, an IPS LCD display, a 90 Hz refresh rate, and about 700 nits of peak brightness. Now, when it comes to using this device under direct sunlight, it is better off than every other device in this price point that I have tested out. And also the display looks really vibrant. Colors are punchy and true as you would expect of an LCD display. So honestly, when it comes to the display of the Samsung Galaxy A05, I would say it is exactly what we are expecting. Now, I wish I would say the same for the performance. Even though it is powered by the MediaTek Helio G85 and coupled with the Mali G52 GPU, I expected the performance to be top notch. But honestly, my experience wasn't exactly like that. For example, yesterday when we took it out to take pictures and try to test out the camera of the phone, we noticed a lot of lag, mostly when you're switching between camera modes. You know how you're taking pictures with the normal photo mode and you want to switch to portrait, you just have to wait for some really annoying seconds before it finally does the switch. And then also when you finish taking the picture and you want to see the picture before you eventually take a next one, then you really have to wait for some seconds before you can do all of that. And also we got back to the studio and we tried to test the performance by playing some video games like football games and all of it. You could actually notice the lag in the game. So honestly, this device, even though it's powered by a very good processor, for me may not be a performance beast, mostly when you compare it to similarly priced device like the Redmi 13C. I think this is an issue with the phone that may be solved with a software update. So definitely I hope the software update starts to roll out very soon so that all of these little issues will be solved. But other than that, when it comes to basic smartphone operations like making calls, scrolling through social media, pages and watching videos and all of it, it was pretty smooth, and I think that is also worth saying. In the battery department, the Samsung Galaxy A05 comes with, as expected, a 5000 mAh battery, which is good enough to last you a day and even more, obviously depending on your usage. And as a use case, mine came out of the box with 60% battery power, and after everything we had to go through to use the phone and all of it, it fell to around 11%. And by then, as you can see on the screen right now, I've gotten about 3 hours 15 minutes of screen on time. That means if it is 100%, I should be able to get close to 6 hours, which is pretty good, as that will take you through the day and even more, obviously depending on your usage. Now, apart from the performance, where I didn't have a very good experience with the Samsung Galaxy A05, another part of it has to be the cameras. The Samsung Galaxy A05 comes with a 50 megapixel main camera, along with a 2 megapixel depth sensor. And then also the selfie camera is an 8 megapixel sensor. Now, when it comes to taking pictures of streets, flowers, trees, and even some pictures with human subject in focus, as you can see, the pictures came out really great. But one of my biggest problems was in terms of consistency in the output of the processed image. Now, as you can see this picture right here, they were taken like 3 or 4 seconds apart. As you can see how different the final image output was. And another second problem I had with it was HDR processing, mostly in portrait mode. It was as if it is completely non-existent. Now, when it comes to videos, the highest you get is 1080p at 30 frames per second, but I found the video processing to be really inconsistent. I mean, you can look at this video from the beginning and see the way it becomes something different entirely at the end of it. Now, switching to the front cameras, like I said, it's an 8 megapixel sensor. And in terms of videos, it does way better, at least in terms of keeping the processing consistent.
So this is the front camera of the Samsung Galaxy A05. It's an 8 megapixel camera. I think I prefer the quality of the front camera. It seems consistent compared to the back. I don't know, but we're shooting at 1080p, 30 FPS. And how you see, it's way better.
It's better now. It's way better.
It's even more consistent. But let's see when it's finally done processing. However, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section, considering the audio quality, the video quality, the HDR processing, and everything else.
BF!
But when it comes to taking portrait selfies, the HDR processing is almost completely non-existent. And then also when it comes to inconsistent processing, these 3 pictures were taken like 3 seconds apart. As you can see, the output is very, very different. So really, you understand me when I say my experience using the cameras of this device was sometimes disappointing. Now, the fact is that these things I just talked about can be solved with 1 or 2 updates from Samsung. So what I tend to do is to review the camera and performance of this phone after 2 months, just to see if those updates have been taken care of. So I would advise you stay close to the channel so that you don't miss out when I eventually make that video. Now, other than that, the Samsung Galaxy A05 is a very good device. I mean, 25 watts charging capacity is something you would definitely need if you want to quickly charge your phone and get on with life. And also, the display right here is the best I've seen when compared with other similarly priced devices. Like I said, the Redmi 13C and the Itel P55 are also very good phones that will give this device a run for its money. So you can click on any of those 2 videos right here and watch it. And also click on the subscribe button right now so that you get to see more honest reviews like this one. Give this video a like, please, so that more people get to see it. And if you do all of that, I guess I'll see you in my next video.